North American fires have plagued America and Canada for the last 10 years. Poor forest management, a lack of funds for cleanups and superfund sites, and the absence of controlled burns contribute to this ongoing issue. Forests burn because they are dry, and they dry because it does not rain. Total precipitable water, 3% of the world's fresh water, hovers around the equator. This evaporated precipitation, known as the river in the sky, moves water globally. Some areas receive more water, creating rainforests, while others become deserts. When you disrupt this water cycle, you develop rainforests in deserts and deserts in rainforests. In the 1980s, Russia cloud-seeded to steer the radioactive plume from the meltdown of the nuclear reactors in Chernobyl away from Moscow. Without this intervention, many would have suffered from illness and cancer. During the Vietnam War, Agent Orange was sprayed across Vietnam and covering the entire area at least 4 times over. Due to budget constraints for covered stadiums, the China Olympics steered clouds and rain away from the games. Virtual water refers to the amount of water required to produce goods. For instance, a high virtual water exporter, America, uses 1,200 gallons of water to raise a sheep and get enough wool for 1 t-shirt. This wool is exported to China, a low virtual water exporter. China only uses 1 gallon of water to create the t-shirt before sending it back to America. Over the last decade, total precipitable water has been steered into the Pacific Ocean using bunker fuel and kerosene from ships. This process creates particulates that accumulate in the sky and remove moisture from the river in the sky. Areas that once received ample water now dry up and become prone to fires. China is stealing the water from California and Canada. It sounds wild, but it is happening. Since 1964, discussions at the Club of Rome and subsequent Earth summits have focused on the regionalization of the world. Some interpret this as a movement toward a one-world government led by entities like the United Nations and enforced by NATO with the CIA hitmen bullies. The outcomes of these summits led to agendas like the Wildlands Project, Agenda 21, the Paris Agreement, and many more. These wildlands projects aim to relocate people off the land and return it to wildlife. This initiative is happening globally and has been ongoing for decades without public awareness. A small group of elites orchestrates these plans: Bilderberg Group, CFR, Trilateral Commission, Round Table, Club of Rome, and Group of 300, among others. The Bureau of Land Management plays a significant role in these changes by removing people from their land and altering zoning laws. They eliminate roads, dams, and bridges while displacing loggers and ranchers. As a result, America now has hundreds of ghost towns lacking infrastructure. This information often goes unreported because prevailing narratives discourage public awareness. Society is conditioned to obey orders and remain silent about these issues. Returning to fires, many occur in core zones where humans will not reside in the future. Some fires burn contaminated forests near old nuclear meltdown sites like Santa Susana. This data can be found in books like Nuclear Extinction Event is Killing Our Families. These fires aerosolize radioactive particulates which affect California residents. 8 years ago, I created YouTube videos discussing how these fires impact contaminated areas. The fallout from past fire events, including the Fukushima disaster, has also contributed to rising health issues on the west coast of the United States and Canada. Despite warnings about particle-contaminated air and radioactive contamination, many people still dream of living in California's commercialized environment. Their desire for a glamorous lifestyle skews their perceptions, and they ignore the health risks pollution poses. As fires rage on, authorities often seek scapegoats, like a guy running around with a flamethrower starting up fires, instead of addressing underlying issues like weather modification and social engineering agendas orchestrated by powerful groups. The situation necessitates urgent action as fire maps indicate future risks. Insurance companies prioritize profit over payouts for damages caused by these disasters. Many residents may not receive adequate compensation for their losses after fires occur. Furthermore, these new fire maps will stop morgue and insurance companies from providing funds and insurance. Not to mention that the utility company will not bring in new utilities in some areas. Intelligent individuals will leave these areas, while others may stay behind for future disasters and more spanking. Please rate, like, and subscribe to my channel for more content. Below are links to my books, which are available on Amazon.